Life is beautiful when you run your race, when you charge yourself to be better, giving your best in everything that you do, when you learn to express gratitude over the little tiniest things in your life. Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I am glad to be awake, hale and hearty, and do not take this for granted. It's a vlog, it's a fresh start, and I am controlling my destiny. So early in the month, I have had a kind of self-reflection, self-analysis, self-criticism kind of moment to myself, and I must say that the year 2023 has been one kind of a year for me. It's been not so fine, it's been tough, it's been just not what I dreamt of it to be. And I mustn't lie to you. You see, that month of July was the worst of all. Earlier in the month, I had a rush of crazy, wild emotions running through me. I was tired of trying. I felt like quitting. I was disappointed at myself. I had a lot of questions on my mind that I really didn't get answers to. I was depressed, guys. But at the end of the day, I told myself I have two options from which I have to take a decision from. So this is like a self-disclosure kind of vlog. Yes, hoping that someone out there who is tired of trying, someone who's doing so much but is yet to see a result, someone who has been pushing, fighting, trying hard, but is just there to get it all together, gets motivated from, gets encouraged from, gets to know that they are not alone, like we are so many, and to let them know that they also have gotten just two choices from which they can pick an option from. But before we get into this, guys, I need to get something done, and I'll be back. Hey guys, hey. So I've been waiting for NEPA for a while now, and unfortunately they still haven't brought the light. So we'll be recording today's video with natural daylight. All through the month of July, I was a little bit here and there, up today and down to the other day. So getting into the month of August, assessing myself, going into retrospection about how everything has been for me in the year, and honestly, I got really depressed. I wasn't interested in things, every other thing didn't make sense to me because I had been so overwhelmed with this part of my life that I really want to see get fixed, and yet it's not getting fixed. So I lost interest, I wasn't happy, I was down, I was ungrateful. Yes, I don't know, I was so ungrateful. And at some point I spoke to myself like, what's up with you, girl? You have to pick up yourself. You cannot continue to look like this, you cannot continue to act and behave like this. You just have to get up and get these pieces of your life together and keep moving. This brings me to the two options rather that I had, and I had to make a decision from. It's a case study of somebody who is on a race and you trip on your way, you fall. Such person definitely has two options, which is either to get up and keep moving, or stay there and keep crying for help. Who do I want to be? Do I want to be that person who falls and stays there, or that person who gets up, and keeps pressing on regardless? I certainly knew that I wasn't going to be the other guy, so I told myself I have to bring everything together and make something out of this shit that I am in. It's not enough, guys. It's not enough to keep going. with all the baggages, the feeling of depression, the tiredness, the lack of motivation and everything, even if you try, to keep going, you're not going to make reasonable steps because the baggage is too much. The load of pain and heaviness is just going to be too much, and it will be overwhelming for you. It's going to slow down your pace. So I told myself I am going to take control of my destiny. I'm not going to let life just to define itself for me. I am going to define my life, and life will surely happen. And when life happens, how do you respond to these happenings? Of course, they have tried so hard. Like I have tried so hard. I could blame every other person. I could blame every other thing aside myself, because on my part, I think I have done well. But at the same time, I think that there is more that I can do. Regardless of how much I think I have done, how much I know I have done, I know there is more that I can do. So rather than stay in the mess, rather than blame every other person out there, events, your background, the limited resources you're exposed to, take responsibility. When you take responsibility, it gives you chances of getting it right the next time you try. But for a person who already sees it as, it's not my fault, I think it's my fate, I think it's my destiny, it's definitely going to be harder, because this is the mindset that you carry on even as you present. So in order to take control of my destiny, I have adopted this strategy. And what is this strategy? It is two things. I said I can either be the other guy who keeps lamenting and everything, and I can be the other guy who decides to go on regardless of everything. Yes, so this is the strategy. Somebody might experience that fall and remain there, but you blame every other thing aside you. Psychologists will call that external locus of control. Internal locus of control is you owning up to responsibility, accepting the blame, and assessing yourself. What are the things I need to extract or import, and all these other things. Now that is somebody who is bearing responsibility. So what is locus of control itself? Is a person's perception, the way a person decides to see an event, which is your personal interpretations to things that are happening to you or things around you, your interpretation to life generally. That is locus of control. So your locus of control might be internal and it might be external. So these two sides are effects. If you're saying, okay, I think I messed up, I think I didn't try enough, or I think I have tried but I can try better, there has to be a balance in between these things. This is what I have been doing, and it is helping me. You all can see the glow. So yeah, this is what you all can do. Tell yourself that God is involved, because above every other thing, I believe in God and I believe in His plans and purpose for my life. We pray, we say, God, let it according to your will, let it be done for me. I told myself to pray a lot, and when you pray, you tell God, all of these things I submit to your will for my life and my destiny. Honestly, this was the thought that dropped in my mind that kind of took me off the overthinking mood that I was in. Beyond and above every of our thoughts and thinking, there is a place of God who knows better, who knows best. He is leading your path, He is directing you, He sees ahead of you, He knows where you're coming from, He knows His plans and purpose for your life. How can you possibly do life without Him and do it right? I'll wake up, I'll dress up, I'll show up, I'll play my part, and just when it is right, it is going to happen. I'm not going to hold on so tightly to these things that haven't worked out. External factors does have a role to play in a person's journey, but that doesn't take away the fact that people have risen from zero and has become big in this society. So it is just not enough excuse for anybody. External factors does have a role to play in all of these things, but rather than sit there and blame it all on the external factors, honey, you have a plot as well. Moving on, guys, these are the things I have told myself I'll be doing, focusing more on the things that gives me joy. So I'm going to be focusing on a lot of other things that are working, and I'm just going to ignore this one thing that is not working. I'm always going to be having monthly goals that will be broken down into weekly goals for me. I think that would help me move faster, that will help me achieve more, that will help me to be more accountable. Already somewhere sometime that a month's goal is way too big for the memory, for the brains to process, and a day goal is way too short, like too brief for the memory to hold. So it's better you put it somewhere in between, which is a weekly goal. I'm going to be giving it all it takes. Above all, I'm going to be leaving it all for God. After I do my best or more, I'll leave it there, like I'm dropping it at Jesus' feet and I am moving on. Whatever comes from it, fine. If it comes fine, woo, glory. If it doesn't come fine, woo, we try again. When I'm doing something, I'm doing it with with the might, with all my might, with all the effort in me. I don't even want to consider the possibility of that not working. So if at the end of the day I hardly fail, I've never failed. And I think it is that pain, it is that feeling, that is what made the whole thing more messed up for me and got me broken down, because I don't fail. I don't understand what failure means. I don't know what it means to fail. So this one thing that is making me look like a failure, honestly. Oh guys. Above all, I'll always remind myself, and I want you also to do that as well. I always remind myself that life is beautiful when you run your race. Life is beautiful when you run your race, when you charge yourself to be better, giving your best in everything that you do, when you learn to express gratitude over the little tiniest things in your life, and when you learn to avoid comparison. Yes, because I think that played a part as well. I looked at myself and I'm like, okay, people out there are doing these things, they're getting things done. Why is it hard for me? Why is it? I had a lot of questions, guys. But thank God I am here. I am fine now. I am bubbly now. I am that girl, like that girl. And I can say I'm better because of these lessons that I have learned. So you guys, I hope you had a thing or two to learn. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Help this community get bigger. So I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.